Quite a number of questions that are still coming in on our social media platforms, still with Elizabeth Mutuku's interview, but then we'll still continue. But majorly, what is the main agenda in today's meeting with the head of state?
First and foremost, I want to confirm that we received invitations 2 days ago to attend the meeting.
Okay.
And the main objective was the president was updating the Western leaders.
Right.
On some of the programs and the projects which he's implementing through his agenda. Mm-hmm. We also had an opportunity as leaders to just bring up some of the programs which is a follow-up of the visit he had in Western in the month of February. Mm-hmm. And so largely the meeting was a meeting that is discussing development agenda for the Western region. Right. Every members of the National Assembly, the governors were present, were able to bring up some of the issues which we believe should be given priority. Okay. On development agenda. Right. Yeah.
Could you probably list to us this number of...
Well, for example, the issue that was cutting across is the question of roads. Mm-hmm. Most of the constituencies don't have bitumen roads which are completed. Okay. The president committed himself to complete some of the roads which had already been earmarked for completion. In Kakamega, one of the other flagship projects that we highlighted was the completion of Buhungu International Stadium. Yeah. As you may be aware, Kakamega is actually a cathedral football. Mm-hmm. And we are looking at the president completing that stadium in readiness for AFCON 2027. Right. So he committed himself through the Ministry of Sports that we are going to partner so that the balance of works can be completed by June 2026. Mm-hmm. The other program is project is the Kakamega Referral Hospital, level 6 facility, where we are again working with the Ministry of Health just to make sure that that hospital is taken over by the national government, because this is a very big facility, and by classification, level 6 hospitals are national government projects. So that again came out. Issues of the gold refinery that is being constructed in Kakamega again came up. So basically it was a follow-up of the programs. Right. And just to make sure that some of those programs are actually put in the budget, either supplementary 3 or the main budget for 25-26 financial year. Right. Yeah. From what our senior political reporter Elizabeth Mutuku was reporting was that the allocation of positions in the Western region, there's some soundbites that you have had, some leaders saying they are not enough. As a leader of Kakamega County, what are your thoughts on this? Well, my thoughts on this is the government reorganization is continuous. Okay. We are aware that we still have parastatals that are supposed to be filled. We are yet to see a complete list of the ambassadors and high commissioners. Right. So we believe with the database that we have and the potential that Kakamega and the entire Western region has, most of our people are going to be considered. So it came up, of course, in terms of getting us more positions. Mm-hmm. Of course, taking cognizance of the fact that Kenya is bigger. We also don't want to be too selfish. Mm-hmm. But as it were, we are still pushing for more. So as it stands, they're not enough, the positions the Western region has in the government? Looking at the numbers, yes, the position not enough. Okay. And that one it was put very clear to the president, and of course, he promised to look at it. Right. Yeah. Let's talk about and you had rightfully said the last time the president was in the Western region, that was way back around in February, and we have seen quite a number of visits in the Western region. Mm-hmm. Also, former Prime Minister Raila Odinga also touring the region. Talk about the strength, the stronghold that Raila Odinga even holds at the moment around that particular region. Yeah, what I can confirm here and now is that ODM is very strong in Kakamega.
Okay.
Indeed, in Kakamega County, we are the majority party. ODM is very strong in Busia, again the majority party. And ODM is very strong in Vihiga. So in Western region, I can confirm to you that the soft handshake between BAMBA and Dr. William Samoei Ruto is going to at least consolidate the region on development and, of course, future political realignments.
Right.
Yeah.
The Luhya unity has, for years on end, had this term, elusive Luhya unity. As you definitely talk about the stronghold of even having more ODM members, talk about the Luhya elusive unity. Is this something that you're going to see progressively, this particular, that term eroding?
I think to a certain extent, I may want to differ because I remember in 2002, the Luhya nation, they actually voted for Mwai Kibaki and then Vice President, the late Wamunyoro Kijana. At that time, there was no issue of the elusive Luhya unity. What we are trying to tell our people is we need at least to just let the local politics not affect our national agenda.
Okay.
We are trying to make sure that we consolidate people around a common agenda, because when you have unity of purpose, then you'll be taken seriously, because yes, you have the numbers. And for your information, the numbers that we have, we're almost 8 million strong, although are spread all over the place. So if you can consolidate those numbers, then we'll make a very serious political movement in the future, and will become the attractive partner, if at all, for purposes of negotiation.
All right.
So the agenda that we are telling our people right now, let's forget about our local differences. When it comes to the national discourse, we have a united front. But of course, you also have to be clear that democracy is there. People are free also to give their own views. So in as much as we are pushing for consolidation to a large extent, but we make a provision for one or two individuals who have divergent views, because Kenya is a democratic nation.
Right.
Yeah.
Still on the whole unity perspective,
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the Tawe movement by Governor George Natembeya? Your thoughts on Tawe movement as a unifying factor?
What I can confirm to you is this Tawe movement thing is just in Trans Nzoia.
Okay.
I can confidently tell you there's no Tawe in Kakamega.
Do you so do you have fears that it might actually progress into Kakamega?
No, we don't have fears per se, because when you look at Kakamega, we only have one elected member of parliament on the DAP ticket. And one thing I can confirm to you is there are no fears at all. The coming together of Raila Amolo Odinga and Dr. William Ruto, I can confirm to you that to a large extent, the Western region is going to consolidate the numbers together.
Right.
Except for a few pockets of Tawe that we cannot ignore, let's say in Trans Nzoia.
From where you sit, do you think that Governor Natembeya is working with Gachagua? And just looking at where we are right now, 2025, we are heading into 2027 elections. What kind of effect will this have?
I think where I sit, I cannot really speak for Governor Natembeya, whether he's working with Gachagua or not. That one is a question that I'll plead you invite him here so that I can give you his perspective.
All right.
Yeah.
But then now the effect that it has, either he's working with him or not, but then the effect that it may have when it comes to the Western unity. Former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has been a Deputy President. He definitely has his own followers. Even in the Western region, he campaigned with President William Ruto in the run-up to the 2022 election. So he definitely has what it takes to woo the crowd. Do you foresee this kind of effect when it comes to the run-up to the 2027 elections?
One thing I can confirm to you is Gachagua has no impact at all in Kakamega and the western region.
Right.
Because the region, as I've said, the two serious political figures in the region is the president, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, and Raila Amolo Odinga.
Right.
And then, of course, the fact that our senior brothers, Wetangula, Musalia, and Oparanya there, I'm pretty confident that the region is going to be consolidated properly in one direction. But of course, we cannot eliminate 2 or 3% of Tawed. Because democracy is also allowed.
Right.
Yeah.
And just to pick up from your statement, before I actually ask about your county, you definitely say the National Assembly Speaker, Moses Wetangula, is there. So you're confirming to us this evening that he's not going anywhere.
No, of course, Wetangula has been very consistent and in terms of supporting the current administration by virtue of being the Speaker of the National Assembly and also being one of the senior leaders in the region. I don't think whether it's going anywhere, in my view.
Right.
Yeah.
Governor, briefly, because I know a number of viewers are asking you about one here, naomba Mheshimiwa Barasa tafadhali ongea na Governor mwenza Otichilo malizie njia kutoka Eregi hadi Chavakali. This goes to show that your people are watching you tonight. Yeah. And they'd really want to know, 2 years in, what would you look at these 2 years and say, I have actually really achieved this, and up to 2027, this is what I plan to achieve. Your people are listening?
Yeah, what I want to report here is I've progressively implemented my 6-point agenda, starting from matters healthcare. At least in every ward, we have a facility, either dispensary or a health center. We're also trying to make sure that we have maternity wings in all the level 4s. Which we have started implementing in various level 4s. Still on healthcare, we are trying to make sure that some of the core projects which my Governor Emeritus started are completed. For example, Butere level 4, I've put in almost 250 million, which is going to be completed soon. Water, we are trying to make sure that the water infrastructure in all water schemes are working to facilitate last mile connection, what we famously call in my region Amase Muriango, which again we are fast tracking. On roads, despite the challenges that we have with the RMLF, that's a conversation that we've been having with the National Assembly. We have allocated money on a few bitumen roads. So far we've done almost 25 kilometers of bitumen roads.
Right.
And for me, that is quite impressive because we have challenges on roads, we have no funds, but at least because of the competing initiative, we can still allocate some money there.
Right.
On education, we've done ECD classrooms in almost all the 60 wards. We confirmed our teachers of ECD on P&P, which is again a milestone.
Okay.
We're trying to, of course, on health, I've already talked about it. In terms of agriculture, last year bought fertilizer. This year we are trying to work with national government to facilitate the last mile distribution of the 80,000 plus fertilizer bags. Of course, through affirmative action again, we are going to have some of the fertilizers we support the vulnerable groups. On the social development, we have strictly bought some assistive devices for PWDs so that at least we make sure they feel part and parcel.
Okay.
We have employed youth, and on industrialization, we are focused to make sure that the organic fertilizer plant in Mumias West is operational.
All right.
That the Madala tea factory in Shinyalu is operational, and the maize milling plant in Lugari is installed, Lugari sub-county. And finally, the dairy plant in Malava is completed and operationalized.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir. Ferdinand Barasa, he is the Kakamega County Governor. We do appreciate your time for making that you have made here tonight. We do continue with our bulletin.